Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a short little misadventure, if you will, where our hero, I suppose, you're basically a hero, right?
Yeah.
You're basically a hero. Our hero, after the immense fight against Hamon and some events that we definitely will exactly what happened in them, and we're not skipping to the future a little bit, is now made a phone call to someone. And that someone said, "Oh, don't worry, I'm free. Come to this construction site thing here, and we'll talk there. Don't worry about it." And you kind of just went there, cause you need to find Mooney.
No reason not to.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all fine. Trust me. Nothing weird will happen. I promise.
Winnie is a big construction buff. No, that's a dead man. Anyways.
What? Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Arriving in
Keeping
the
up
area,
approaches casual.
you notice that this place is just almost as fucked as you left it. Now a little bit more fucked than before. And you can see, first of all, Mooney standing guard, and behind Mooney you can see Alexander doing something.
You see that Mooney is looking down his book dramatically. At some point, you expect him to open some lines like some pretentious asshole. He turns a page. Yeah, there's still absolutely nothing in this book. Closes it. Hello.
Always good to check. Why does it smell like blood?
Oh. Turns, looks,
So,
points with his thumb. You
Mo-
seen this shit, Steven? Pretty whack.
yeah, when you look at Alexander, he's kind of with his back halfway, like, to you. But, like, when you angle your head a little bit left and right, you can see that he has a Bible in his hand, and he seems to be praying, at the moment.
So, you just find him like that?
For context,
No.
you definitely beat the shit out of this.
There are. Mooney has been told that he cannot expressly say, "Oh yeah, no, we killed the shit out of them." So he's just going to go, "We had a fight."
I see.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure he'll be fine.
You see
These two
blue
interact with the
flames
person.
fucking erect from and start like swallowing the body in its form, and the body of this beast thing, half human, half whatever the fuck, just starts burns away in the flame.
Yeah, he's fine.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly natural.
Perfectly.
And you see that whatever parts are left over, Alexander starts like putting in a bag and like analyzing them.
Okay. So,
Yes.
I need some advice.
He sits down like. Okay, so I should mention, this isn't like a normal ass bench. This is kind of like elevated into the air. It's like a table almost.
Yeah.
It is a
So like, the normal image that one would put down is like he would sit dramatically on it. He makes the motion that he's sitting in a chair, but he's tall enough so that he's actually he's in the sitting position where his butt's a bit off the ground of the table. But he's doing it anyway. But was like, hit me with it, as the kids
Oh,
would
he's doing
say.
an air chair.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So basically, I was told by someone recently that I need to figure out a way to get stronger. And I'm not entirely sure if I want that to be vampire stuff or not. So, how exactly does someone get stronger? As a vampire, at least.
For most part, you would expect someone to say, oh, why don't you want to improve your vampiric abilities? It's what's been happening most anyway. Mooney's
you're
just like,
a
I
little bit
see.
muffled.
Ah.
Oh, there we go.
One moment.
There you go.
Let me repeat. For the most part, you'd expect someone to say, "Oh, why don't you want to use your vampiric abilities?" Like, that's dumb. You have powers. Why won't you use them? It's the same crap you've been hearing over and over again. But Mooney's just like, "Well, then it's quite simple." Closes it. You improve your abilities like anyone else would. Some doors are
Burning.
more closed. I don't like that answer very much.
Mhm.
He kind of thinks about it for a minute. Vampiric abilities are based upon taking in most aspects, whether it be blood, lives, etc. I can understand you not wishing to follow that path. Just the same, though, something has to often be given to gain anything at all. He kind of tilts his head for a moment. You could say that you give time when you put your effort in training, no?
I suppose.
I guess what I'm trying to say here is, you want to get stronger, but in what way?
Uh, I mean, I guess any way that could help. Physical strength is probably my forte at the moment, but I don't know.
He kind of thinks for a minute, tilts his head slightly, tilts to the other side. But your physical strength is tied to your vampirism, and as we've discussed, that is... I can see your conundrum.
Yeah. It's hard to exactly train a stand. For the most part, you just sort of get more experienced with it. And you can't really do that by hitting a target dummy.
He seems to contemplate for a moment. Have you tried... Well, I suppose that it may be a smart idea to first narrow down what you want the strength for. We have established what you cannot do to train. Let's establish first what you would then use the strength for in the first place. Simply defeat your enemies, or some other purpose?
Helping people.
He nods. Have you considered EMT training, fireman training, general psychology practices?
Not exactly what I meant.
I see.
Yeah. Although, I gotta stitch up a wound might be useful. Whatever.
You see
I
that-
meant more in the combat sense, as in
Hey,
helping
don't mind
people
me.
who are already.
I'm just
Yeah,
here.
well.
He sits by and just like puts one elbow on the table, his chin like being held by his hand, and he kind of just watching you two talk.
Okay. In more of a danger sense, like being attacked and all that. The usual.
He kind of tilts his head the other way again. Have you then considered what paths may have been open to you for what you can learn? For example, we understand that as a vampire you cannot learn Hamon, but do you have any other friends, any other allies who use tricks or other skills that you could emulate?
I mean, that's the thing that Dion does, although I don't really think I can figure that out too well. Never really got my head around it. There's like the red Hamon that,
Red what?
well,
I think it's like
Hamon
red
uses.
cycling. Red Hamon?
I don't know exactly. He calls it Hamon Mortal, I think.
Fuck's Hamon Mortal?
From what I can tell, it's just Hamon, but it damages your body to use it sometimes, but it might be stronger. I don't know.
Well, you're a vampire, so you couldn't use him on anyway, right?
You see him pull out a
No.
little book from his like robes and
No.
starts writing on it.
With that kind of hamon, it's... If I had to guess, it's not exactly life energy, so it doesn't actually hurt me as much as normal hamon would.
Oh.
It would probably hurt me as much as a regular person to use it, but I wouldn't explode.
Oh god, a vampire with that. That sounds fucking terrifying.
Well,
No
I
offense.
suppose.
No offense. it's just-
No,
you guys are
I
pretty
mean,
strong.
there's only one guy who can teach it, and apparently you need to follow some pretty strict guidelines to do it.
May I ask who that guy is? Because this is
Hamon.
news to me. Isn't Hamon the thing?
With a J.
Hamon with a J. Oh. Wait, is he Spanish?
I think so. He mentioned something about Mexico, I think.
Mexican. Okay, I'm gonna look into that guy because Momortao is something that I've never heard about before. And here's the thing, my line of work, whew, I know about some shit. This is. Oh, this is.
From what I can tell, he basically made it himself.
Holy
So.
shit, that's genuinely impressive. This guy's a bit of a genius, honestly.
Yeah, he's scary.
Where could I find him? Again, I want to figure out what's the stuff. It's not already part of my job. It's kind of curious, mostly.
I mean, you might find him just by looking for the color pink.
You see me think for a second? Mooney, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there like this place that was filled with fucking pink lines in between the buildings or something that we passed by the other day?
Looks through his empty book. Yes,
Huh.
there was.
Why pink?
He likes it,
You know what? Fair enough. Pink is a great color.
right?
When he plays with his hair.
They're a good color, Mooney.
He does not smile, but you sense the mood increase somewhat.
Now, again, I feel bad for trying to interrupt this, but I need to ask. You see me like kind of like gets his one of his legs like from outside underneath the table, so he's kind of like facing you, Steven. And he's like, "Why exactly do you don't want to expand on your vampiric ability? It is literally your forte." Again, I'm not sure how much I'm prying into personal information here, but you know, it is awkward.
If you were born into a life of crime, like a mafioso, and you didn't want to live said life, would you continue to try to build contacts for the mob?
You see me like puts a hand on his chin. You were born in a mafia as a mafioso, and you have in your family DNA, let's say, the ability to become great at shooting a gun. Now, sure, your family uses it for crime, but what's stopping you to learn it to use it for your protection or your friend's protection?
The sacrifice that it takes.
Just the same, to practice a gun practically, you would have to shoot someone, whether that be an enemy or an ally. Besides, he kind of lanes on the table, but at the end of the day, you can gain a skill, but if you don't enjoy it, if you don't like how you had what you did to get it, kind of defeats the purpose, no?
What's Mooney doing? Are they like laying on the table?
Yes, he is.
Alexander's just staring at Mooney like Mooney's a cat.
Correct statement.
Linking under the metal beam to stay in the shadows.
Exactly.
I mean, there are enough clouds, it's a little bit late, but, because, you know, otherwise Steve would be dead, but, you know.
It's fine, I got an umbrella.
You got
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, fine, don't worry about it.
I have sunglasses. Fine.
Alexander's like,
sunglasses at night.
oh, I see the conundrum. Hmm. Vampirism, what do I know about how does vampirism work? Okay, there are many interpretations here, but what if you're looking at the wrong angle? How do you think vampires get better at doing their stuff?
Killing people, sucking blood, fighting.
I'm assuming you sucked a lot of people to the death.
No.
Look at your backstory. You hear
The back.
me?
I mean, no, I can.
Yeah,
I mean,
me GM is looking at you like,
no more than double digits.
You see Alexander like, well, assuming that's the case, then why aren't you that much better at it? Then I'm assuming you're at the basic level here.
Something like that. I don't really know.
I think
Never really told how to go. I was never really told how to get better. I was just sort of told what to do, and they didn't really explain it.
from what I can tell, a lot of, at least the famous vampires, all of them are very driven by, how can I put this, their nature or their instincts to do things. Now, at first, of course, it sounds horrible because, vampires, bloodsucking, etc., etc. But what if, and hear me out, you manage to escape that life? Don't you think that you would have to have a fundamental different mentality to be able to escape it and become good? Almost like you're instinctively being different and doing something different. You've been taught, I assume, by vampires who supposedly have been using their instincts to kill and murder and survive. You're fighting against it, and you still can't quite, I don't know, I guess it hasn't entered your head that that's your way to do it, and you just need to get it right that being a vampire and using your vampire abilities doesn't equal that same type of instinct? I think, I don't know, I'm not a vampire.
I mean, in that sense, I've been using them like that for a while. Mostly just to, survive, help people,
But
all
have
that.
you internalized that? Look, you
I guess
clearly
not.
have a past. A very, very vampiric past. You need to find a very, very solid way to put it in your head that you're different and that different is your normal.
I guess the best way I can put it, or that we can put it, is: are you choosing not to follow this path because you believe it is innately evil? Because that is something that you have decided about yourself? Or have you decided that you see the people who you see as evil reflected in it, and you have yet to decide what it means to yourself personally, so you're just filling in the blank? At the end of the day, I am who I am. Vampirism is not a trait that is a collective of different people. It is just one aspect of myself. Just the same, you are who you are. What you do with vampirism is, at the end of the day, what makes you you. Not the other way around.
I guess that's right.
I apologize that I do not have many other answers to your conundrum. I myself do not very much. The best way I can put it is, he takes out his book, and for a moment you see a flicker of shadow just crawl up his arm and onto the book itself. Turn my blue sky black is my stand name. Simple ability. I can cover anything.
You see Alexander like doing like a hand like a neck chop signal on his neck,
Oh.
like
Oh, very well.
he
But-
looks at Steven. No offense, but even I have some upper orders going on, and I don't want to risk it at that level, you know.
Understandable.
Yeah, I guess.
My point is just simply, I suppose I'm in the same boat. I do not have much I can use to improve myself. But I do have an understanding that the fact that you're looking to improve yourself is a very good start. It's not a matter of if you can find something, it's a matter of when at this point. Whether it be your vampirism, or whether it be something else that you decide is more value to you as a person.
Hmm. I guess that makes enough sense.
He kind of sits up on the table, crisscross applesauce on it. Does make me wonder, though. What exactly do you think? You're fighting to protect people. Are those people... It seems like he has an idea in his head that he's trying to get out. Like, this feels less like he's gonna give you an answer, more like he's gonna hit you with another question. Is fighting to defend people something you need more strength to do? Or something you need to think outside the box to do?
I mean, I guess it depends on the situation, really. Generally, if somebody is in danger, I'm usually strong enough to help them. But if it's a trickier situation and more planning could be required, that's not exactly my forte.
You see Alexander get up. Oh, sorry, Blue.
No, you go first.
Get up, and he walks up to Steven, and he puts a hand on Steven's shoulder, like, now I didn't say this at first, mainly because I didn't get to know you personally, and like we're doing right now, as personal as it gets anyway. I'm not sure how much we're gonna talk, but the thing is, Steven, I'm proud of you because you may find this weird or surprising, but you are one of the most human vampires I've ever met. Hell, you're more human than many humans I've met. I don't know exactly what you went through, but I can guess that you had to fight against something, oof, to become what kind of person you are right now. And I think you're doing great, my man.
I mean, thanks, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and
I'm mostly just worried that as I continue to dive headlong into dangerous situations, that I'll just
look,
get to a point where I just won't be able to move or do anything.
look, I'm not sure how you could force this, I guess, upgrade to your vampirism war count. But what you could try to do, first and foremost, is practice the vampiristic abilities. According to records and stuff that I know, there are some vampires out there, and even humans that turn to vampires of your kind, that are so brutally genius-like that they become vampires and immediately know how to use a bunch of weird body manipulations. There was this guy who shot...
Like the I-beams.
Yes! There was this guy who became a vampire, and the first thing he does is shoot like 30 people in a single shot with I-beams.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the guy's a
Impressive.
yeah, no, he just learned that. It is not normal. Well, actually, now that I think of it, most vampires know at least one. Again, weird cases are apart. People have different struggles. The main point being, if you want to get good, independent of how talented you are or not, you're gonna have to get some practice. So, if you can find a quiet place that no one goes through, or even now with Mooney, because again, I think it would be great for you guys to try it out. Try to do some vampire weird shit with your bodies, and just, practice that out. And the second thing I can try, I think will work, is when you're in a real fight, when you're using most of your instincts to react and most of your instincts to survive, try to, instead of using your abilities to target the enemy, try to do something with your body to actually protect someone. Force yourself into that uncomfortable scenario where you're putting yourself as responsible over someone else at that moment, but only use your vampiric ability so you can force it out. Try to unlock that instinct, I think. And I think that can work. If it doesn't work, I don't know. We can try something else. We'll figure it out.
Hmm.
What do you think? Is it far-fetched sounding?
It might work. I don't know.
Well, it's an idea at the very least. It's definitely different than whatever you were taught. I would ask Mooney for more details, but Mooney is a bit of a special case, very special case. But we cannot talk about that.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Well, if you could do
Mooney-
something weird with your body, what would you do?
Oh, I mean, I can already kind of do something
Yeah, I know,
not
but like
normal.
a step above, a step above. If you could, what do you think you would want to do?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Hey, he looks at Mooney. Any ideas?
Kind of tops things for a minute. Tell me, have you ever heard of the Call of the Abyss? Either of you?
Alexander's like, which one? Cause there are a few magical beasts that do some weird abyss shit, and
I'm not
Like
talking
the
about
concept of it, or
like Thanatos, the Death Instinct.
oh,
yeah, I'm familiar.
mm-hmm.
The idea that a natural human thought of, intrusive thought of, when you're looking down at a deep, dark ravine, or looking above from somewhere else, you think, hey, why don't I just jump? It is no thought based on depression or the act of ending your life. It is just the intrusive thought. Even, what instincts have you felt you need to suppress?
Hmm. I mean, for the most part, just doing anything to survive at the consequences of other people.
He nods. I think the issue you are having with your abilities and them awakening is not simple as you need to find it. You simply need to come to terms with that answer. Find a vampiric ability that is not... Find a vampiric ability that does not take. If anything, he points at you. Follow that instinct. Surviving, yet not losing anything. What does that look like? Physically, in your form, your body. Follow that thought process. Maybe you'll come to an answer.
Hmm. Maybe.
You notice Alexander has his little book in his like he has a different book now and he's writing things down. Like, Mooney, you're doing great, by the way. Great evolution here. Sounding really wise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he closes the book, puts the pencil away in his robes. Why don't we? Well, I guess you too, because I don't know how the fuck does any of that work. Try to do some exercises, but try to put that into your mind. It probably won't work because you're not in danger or whatever. But like, hey, maybe you figured something out in the training. Who knows? It's always good to get a little bit of practice.
Maybe.
So
Hey, Mooney.
Yes.
Do you want to fight to the near death?
no. But by practice,
He
I
stands
mean
up on the table
No.
and looks like he was about to square up.
Mooney. All right, fight to the death is not something you
Near.
say yes to. I don't. Shush you. All right, shush you too. Fight to near death or to death are not something you say yes to very easily. Okay. Okay. I know you're both vampires. It's not pretty to see you two beat the shit out of each other and almost die. Okay?
And don't look.
I have to. He looks at you. Fucking smartass. Look, what I mean practice is just like human stretching, just stretch your body and do some. Try to force your body to do some. You know, practice that. Like, I'm okay with you two also fighting, but not near death. I don't have enough blood bags to heal both of you from near death.
I suppose we should start with the more simple thing of look at an objective and try to accomplish it in a way that only you can do.
Can I give it a suggestion?
He leaves the floor out for him.
There was this one vampire guy who had a very simple ability of making all the hair in his body become like spikes. Like he just became Spike Man with his hair somehow. Instead of doing it in your entire body, why don't you, I don't know, look at the hair in your arm or something and try to make it control it. Make it do some shapes and stuff. Sounds like a start, right? It's specific enough that
I guess.
it's not normal movement, so you have to be a vampire, but also it's, I guess, complex enough that it's, yeah, I think it worked. Does that sound viable? I'm spitballing.
I mean, maybe? I don't know.
Look, practice.
I can already kind of do stuff like that, but it takes a while.
Well, try to do faster. Maybe with some Mooney knowledge, you can get some steps up.
Maybe.
Yeah. Now go into the shadow with Mooney, and I'll just remain guard here to make sure nobody's watching around. If you're going to fight, you warn me, and not near death. Both of you.
Okay.
Good job. And then he
I'll see what I can do.
starts walking out.
So, I have one idea in mind for he hops over the bloodstain for a starting practice that is not fighting.
Yeah.
He holds the book in front of him. Take this from me. But I want you to do it. He gestures down without using your stand and without taking a step.
Starts wiggling like a worm. Technically, I'm not walking.
Honestly,
Mooney might just accept that.
yeah.
Without taking a step. If I was underestimating you, I'd probably do something like jump up, break the board and above us in half, and then throw half of it at you, but you would probably be able to either dodge or just be fine. if I did that.
And that wouldn't very much be taking the book, now would it?
Yeah.
Blink. How do you
Yeah.
think? Steven can probably sit on this question for a while, man, because I want to go do stuff with Shade. How do you
Yeah,
think
Gord.
he eventually tries to take the book? At least his most successful attempt, or at least one of them. If you can think about it, that's fine as well.
Steven would probably go for something simple. Just trying to elongate his arm, probably.
Yeah, it is a relatively slow progress, but you keep trying to apply this attitude of like trying to get into this instinct that you're not used to having, and you spend a good chunk of time dealing with this. However, meanwhile, there's something else going on. Somewhere else. If my computer loads, thank you.
No, it's fact, it's going to kill you.
To the right of the map.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Hello, Shade.
Hello there.
Leon, it's relatively late in the day. You guys called Robert. That was a whole deal. And right now, you're just resting because third-degree burn on your chest. Dawn
Yep.
has moved the pillow to watch over you. How have you been feeling besides pain?
It's probably, honestly, a weird feeling of just kind of relief at actually managing to beat, like, the first of our big challenges. But also, man, it's getting tiring to fight all these insanely powerful people. And we still got Robert ahead of us.
Indeed. You take a nap because, dear lord, and eventually you do wake up, and if you pay attention, you can hear some click-clack, click-clack, click-clacks of a laptop outside as things are there.
Dan just would slowly get up.
Oh.
Oh.
Easy there, fella. Whatever. I'm on fucked you up. There's no other way of saying it. That is not looking good. It is pretty much permanent.
Yeah, that's honestly best case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unlike everyone else here, I only gotta stand to properly protect me.
Honestly, I was thinking you were gonna be at a lot worse of a situation, but good job, Dion.
I just focus on surviving.
So do we all. I need to mention a few things to you. Specifically, I wanted to touch on empathy again. So, as you know, with your standout, you can, sense other people. You get this, like, when you touch someone, you can tell if you're a stand user or not, and all of that fun stuff. But there are a few other things that, like, there's some things that are empathy related, but some people without empathy can do it. For example, there was this one guy, Kyutaro Kujo, I think was his name, and he had like a punch ghost type stand, like real close to you and punch things really hard. Don't remember his ability, honestly don't think I ever saw it, but the guy just, nothing related to what he does, as far as I remember at least, he kind of just stretched his finger stands and used it to stab people.
You know, as far as I've seen, I believe that is an ability.
That's the thing. It's not his ability. It's something kind of unrelated. I don't think I probably could do it considering the way my stand comports, but supposedly, assuming Robert is as good as he is, he theoretically could just have extra range than you expect if he could pull that shit off. So, yeah, have an eye out for that. I don't think you could do it because you don't have a stand, but you know.
Look, maybe I can stretch the sword weirdly.
I don't think
Yeah,
it
just
works
with
with
the-
physical objects.
Slight bit of smile that says, "Oh yeah, no, I know that's not. I know exactly that doesn't work."
Yeah. Dear Lord. Another thing, this one actually I've done it once. I half regret it mainly because I probably should have done something smarter. But fun fact: stand users can make their stands really tiny, like tiny enough to get inside someone.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, it also decreases your overall range. I think it's related to it's like proportional to the size of your stand. So when you do that, it also decreases that. And like it's super weird and wonky and doesn't have that many uses and not many people do it. Hey, he could use it. Don't know what for, but he could.
I mean, look, coming from Haman, small stands can still be scary, especially if you can't see them.
Oh, by the way, what did his stand do? I forgot to ask about that shit.
Spiders. It's a bunch of spiders and threads.
Huh. Doesn't sound that strong. Oh, right, Hamon Mortal. Duh. He kind of slaps his own hand like, oh yeah. Duh.
From what he said, it was the threads are the perfect material to conduct it.
Oh god, yeah, no, I see the problem. Jesus. You see him typing away again? Sorry, just dealing with some organizing this territory here. Make sure people don't go fucking crazy.
There's something I remember hearing about at one point for all these, before the Robert fight. But, sorry, but you know, what is the competition called? It's been a day for me. For the, like the fight. To determine territory.
It's called Dream Theater.
Oh, Dream Theater, sorry, like I said, I just got out of work.
Don't worry.
So, I want to ask you, what realistically happens if we, lose to Robert here for the Dream Theater?
Our territory goes to shit. And, well, assuming he doesn't kill any of you, which, at this point, according to what you guys told me, even I'm a little bit worried about, you guys are gonna, I guess, work for him, and be forced to work only for him, and probably lose a lot of your volition to have opinions on his plans. Again, I know I clash a lot with John and such, but at the very least you guys have a percentage at the democracy going on. With Robert, you're gonna lose all of that. Definitely.
And there's one offer I want to give you at least. Realistically, you could easily take any of our territories from us and make sure you're not sucked into the whole Robert thing. He seemed very interested in you.
He seemed kind of typing me, but I don't think I've met him.
Robert, from what I can tell, got good information networks. Probably better than you'd expect.
Like, I suppose so.
As well as your stand was nearby him. In my shadow, remember?
He gives a chuckle. Yeah. Shit, he knows about me? What does he know about me? That doesn't make any sense.
He doesn't seem to know a lot about you, from what I gathered. but he knows that you exist. I guess would be the best way I could put it.
Yeah, it worries me a little bit because I had to do a lot to get the anonymity that I currently have. It's really difficult nowadays with all the technology and all of that shit, you know? It is really hard. Honestly, it becomes your only weapon in situations like these. People don't know you, and it's your shield. It's your way to hide, and they don't know what you want, and because they don't know what you want, they can't use it against you. It's my defense. It's my way of, if everything do goes to hell and I have no choice, at the very least I can disappear. You know?
That's fair enough.
Mhm.
I just wanted, because the other thing I thought I heard about is because us being defeated by Robert, or us defeating Robert, fully covers the area, this island.
It's also gonna negate any future Dream Feeders from happening.
That's the other benefit of if you took your own, prevent that lock.
There is a few problems with that. First and foremost, if I do that, it's gonna... everyone's gonna know because of the timing. Right before the big fight that he's literally announcing on the internet, he goes on his computer and flips it, and there's a fucking page on Headbook about him going like, I'm gonna fight some dumbasses in a few days, gonna get some territory, bitches. He's like, I don't even, how does he fucking get away with this shit? He flips the thing back to him, like, how is the police not after this fucker already? I guess they're, I know they're busy, but damn! Fucking, if we do that, the people are gonna know that we're chicken out and we're not doing this the Dream Theater way. We're gonna lose a lot of people with this. It's, fuck. It's a good idea, Dion, and I'm mad because I wish it could work. It would be a great failsafe.
That's fair. Figure is worth mentioning. Or at least it's a tactic to consider.
Yeah.
Later point, because at this point, you got no choice but to win.
Yeah.
If Robert tries to kill any of us, I have a failsafe. I have a plan.
That's good. That's smart.
After all, he very much expects, especially from me, to like cheat and do whatever it takes to win. And in this case, I'll actually fall into that nature. It might be what he expects, but if he doesn't know about what I'm using, he can't help him.
Let me continue on. Other things stand users can do with their stands, when usually they have hands to hold things at least. Very important. Robert theoretically can grab any object with his stand and imbue that thing with stand energy. That can supposedly phase through objects and attack stands. So if his stand pulls out a gun, you bet your ass he can shoot your stand. If you have one.
You know, might want to pass this on to probably Steven.
I'm making a little document. Don't worry, I'm gonna put in some stuff. Some other
Because if Robert Stan pulls out a gun, I just get shot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect parry it.
Mm-hmm.
Just overcome.
I'm not sure if he's gonna use this, probably not, but if he touches you and he uses stand energy on a non-stand user, he can make that person be able to see and interact with stands. I honestly, knowing your case scenario, Dion, I'm not even sure if that would work. You're such a weak case that it just might... Remember those holes I mentioned? It might just fucking flow through you and not work.
You able to pull that trick?
No, not good enough for that.
I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know a whole bunch of different minor tricks. I'm terrible at all of them.
Hey, we all are at the start.
Oh, I've known, my mirror line.
Yeah?
Known that for years. Just rely on its cheap tricks rather than trying to advance in it.
Yeah, it is. It is a tough call sometimes, and... Have I talked to you about epiphanies already?
That term feels familiar, but
It's good.
might be good to go over it anyways.
It's good to get over it anyway. So, I want you to imagine my stand the wolf. During the daytime, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., it's a bunch of little wolves. From 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., it's a big wolf. Caught up to that?
Yeah.
What if I told you that with Epiphany, I can make it that no matter the time, it's a bunch of big wolves?
Okay, so it kind of just forces your stand to be stronger.
Epiphanies are a level of understanding of the self. So deep, an understanding of your stand that is so deep that at that point you can kind of softly, kind of strongly manipulate the fighting spirit that is your stand. It is a powerful technique that even if I did personally experience it before, I don't think I can do it more than once a month at a time. It is really difficult to use. It is really fucking hard. And it's something that even after the month, I still would struggle to get into that because you have to be in synchrony with yourself and your stand. And that sounds easy, it is not. It's a state of mind that is really hard to get into.
So that opens to my immediate question about it.
Yeah?
How hard is it to knock someone out of that mentality?
You have to defeat them. Or you have to force them into a situation to do something that they really, really don't want to do. You're gonna break them out of that cycle. If they do something that they're against, then they're automatically going against their own spirit. So
Like, okay, so they can mold and bend, but they can't.
it's still
They can break.
they can mold and bend, but they still have to go back to their original shape. Is the way to explain it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fire can have many forms, but it's still fire.
It will still burn.
Mm-hmm. And he looks at Dion. Although theoretically he didn't invent empathy, he is the only recording in history, as far as I'm aware at least, of someone fully mastering it, figuring every step of the way, and teaching other people about it. So as far as we are aware, he's quote-unquote the first empathy master of history. At least recorded. Now, that already shows that he's good at it. Probably, again, if he's good at empathy, he's as good as in empathy as Hamon is good as Hamon Mortal. So, what I mean is, I can't use Epiphany more than once a month. I don't know how many times Robert could do it in the span of a week, a day, an hour.
How long can it last? Just can you time it out?
When I did it, that fight was excruciating. It was my ears, I could hear my heartbeat. I kind of lost sense of time a little bit. When I did it, it was about 3 minutes.
Too long.
And now I want you to think of someone who mastered it. he's gonna stretch that bitch, and I don't even know how many times he can do it at how long the periods of time. So for all we know, he could do it once, wait a minute, and then do it again. And again, that's probably very exaggerated, but we don't know. It's scary.
It's better to plan for the worst.
It is really
So-
scary.
There's two things I can think of immediately for dealing with it. Either make him do something that he doesn't want to do, which is my bet on possibly hurting John or anything to that degree. A bit more extreme than just hurt, but you get my point.
Yeah,
Or
that sounds like a plan.
just make him,
If you could.
or just hope he underestimates us. No, that he doesn't use it.
Now, it's up for you to tell John of this or not, but if you could make it look like one of Robert's attacks hurts John to a very critical level, that could work. That could be a disruption. It would probably only work once, so you'd have to capitalize on it.
I don't think that'd be worth it.
Look, you don't have to
Because
hurt
it would-
John. You need to make
well,
it look like
no.
it.
Let me explain. That might break him out of an epiphany, but that will cost us a lot more in the end. Because that will... Our biggest boon here is that Robert still sees us as weaklings. As angry as he is with us, we're still beneath him. That would change things.
And there is a chance that he sees you as so weak he wouldn't use the epiphany.
Yep.
Because I understand, that might just be your shot.
After all, Robert doesn't feel like the kind of guy that'd happily admit that he had to use an epiphany to beat, well, one proper stand user, John, and May, someone who can't even see stands.
And Steven, who is also a proper stand user, and a vampire.
Oh, he was the proper stand user I was referring to.
Oh, yeah.
I put John in a different category because
He's
from looks
John.
like he can't take it. Yeah, he can't take a hit.
I'ma be real, if you and John fought, I would vote for a tie. Little noodle boy.
Honestly, I need to talk to him about that. Honestly, I feel like he could be way stronger if he just let himself be.
Yeah. Leon, can I... Not sure if I should mention this, it goes a little... Do you really trust John to follow through with these plans of ours? Okay, maybe just me because I thought of him or something at that one time, argued with him. But
So, my honest stance is this event will go one of two ways. And I think it comes down to how Phantom is doing.
Phantom, that's Phantom of the Opera, the stand of Josh Joestar. What about it?
That's John's goal, is to find Phantom of the Opera.
Well, it's a little bit far away from right now, and it could be destroyed in the volcano as far as we are aware.
And that's my point, is I trust John to get to there. Because right now, as far as I can tell, at least to some degree, whenever strength Josh had is starting to at least build up in John, it just comes down to whether it gets carried through or not.
I see. I was worrying for nothing then.
Right now, John's at a precipice to me. He is approaching the point where there's no return. But At the same time,
you
he's
seem,
the one of us that can return.
you seem like laughing. Sorry, it's just I've long been past that point, and I kind of forget that some people haven't.
I stopped noting where I could return, when I passed that point. Maybe I haven't passed it yet. I honestly just need to get to a point. After all, I've kind of realized one thing about that entire group of, well, the passion.
Yeah.
Most of them have fucked around with me or my family. I'm really getting tired of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it happened. That your family got affected by the situation. Again, you must already guess that I'm giving priority to my personal objectives. However, I'm not a douchebag, so even if I'll give priority to my stuff, I can easily find space to, at some point, try to find your family. We only have one informant at the moment, but we can definitely get more once we completely take over this island.
So I don't think I ever fully got to tell you this, I don't think. The Chupacabras, I believe, is a gang operating one of the islands.
I've heard about them. Nightly folk,
And
apparently.
that's where I think he is.
Interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have much on them at the moment. You're gonna have to wait a little bit for that. I'm sure.
One of the best bits of information I got
Know which islands
was
they're in, or island?
Diamond. This is going all the way back to a conversation Dion was listening in on. Where's Wakapipo's main where was that it referenced to for if they referenced where the Chupacabras were?
Well, by the way, I'm gonna do this just so because I can show off the map.
Oh, absolutely.
By the way, look, you guys took over territory. It's all yours.
Whoop.
It's all yours.
Oh.
Anyway, so the Wekapipos, at least the main place, the main hospital, and probably where their base is at, even if you don't know for sure, is like here.
Dion would explain.
Yeah, these are the Moon
What?
Islands, by the way. They're all, even though they're technically separate, they're all considered one thing. Just like Oceanic Home is one thing, Rich Mines and Natural Perfection.
Yeah.
These are one thing.
Dion would explain just generally that area of the Moon Islands from what he could gather.
Yeah. These are gathering like, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not sure.
As much as we've been relying on our informant, I have my own tricks to learn info.
Yeah.
After all, the best description for me in every regard is I cheat.
That's fair. Well, I can't promise that it will be the first place we'll look through. Honestly, there's a big chance we'll have to get involved with Rich Mines first. Because of this syringe situation, we need to get a grip at what is happening there to see if they're not going to attack us anytime soon. And we might have to take care of that first, but I can guarantee you, we'll probably have to go deal with the Moon Islands before we're even close to finishing this. So we're getting there sooner than I expect, but probably later than what you would want. It's the best that I can pull off to help both of us.
Yeah, right now at this point, I'm realizing more and more that as much as I could walk over there right now and try to find him, I just get pulled in more mess.
Yeah. Look,
And
again,
Dion kind of slightly motions to his chest where he has third-degree burns.
oh god, I hate looking at that.
Uh,
Look, don't worry. I found an informant that is native to those islands. I'll find a way to locate your brother. It's gonna be alright. Wait, actually, did you ever say it's your brother. Remember.
I feel like as Dion probably would have to some degree said it to Ezio, whether on screen or
Okay, we're gonna.
like
That's canon.
one of our other touch-based like bits.
Look, it's many points in the story. Take one
Yeah,
out.
no, you're good.
Allow your GM. She's like, look, don't worry. We'll find your brother. I'll find a try to locate a specialist in the area. We'll get him good. And by the way, and then he grabs like a coin, and he throws it at Dion. Try to force your empathy onto that. You may not be able to move, but your soul is still intact, as far as I'm aware. You gotta be able to even if you won't be able to fully use it. If you get a hang of this, you might be able to. How can I put this? Again, empathy users, when they're good enough, they can basically mute an area, so only their auras they won't be able to hear others. If you're able to go through that, you may be able to get a read on him during the fight.
That might work.
Well,
That seems like my best bet, but at the same time, I still worry of trying to contest Robert
well.
on the field of his expertise.
Start empathizing with that coin, my man. And as he says that, you hear your phone vibrating on your pocket.
Oh, Dion's just gonna pull it out.
As it's like, you slept with your phone in your pocket?
I grabbed it. It was effectively in the 10 nearby.
Fair enough.
Grabbed it before I came out.
Fair enough. Sorry. You look at your phone, and you see an unknown number saying the message, I know what you want, and I want to meet you on speaking terms. And before anything happens, we change scenery. Hey, fuck. That's fine. Hey!
I don't know. I don't know if that's my name.
Hey, Steven.
Hi.
You're going home. And
Whoa.
Woo. You're going home and like, you know, because actually, here's the fun thought. You received a message from Nelson saying that he needed some help to move some stuff from his house.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just gonna walk in.
Hey, Blue,
Yep.
could you put a more fitting song?
Sure. Give me one
Yes, sir.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, can you? You have to sometimes prep me for this shit.
Look, it's all in the fun times. And to be fair, it's in the document that prepares for the session. So you know. You open the door. You see Nicolo holding a lantern, not a lantern, a flashlight in your direction. As you look at Nelson, which his face beaten up, his glasses are broken, and he's kind of just like one of his eyes is kind of like too black and full to be able to look, and the other eye kind of just looks at you like, hey, hey.
Huh. If I'm interrupting something, I can go in the other room.
You see Nicolo look like with the flashlight pointing at you. He's like, I want you to drop your phone on your floor, and you're gonna kick it in my direction so I can grab it. Gonna slide through the floor. And I want you to point out one more thing. The reason why he's hurt was not by choice. I didn't have a choice. And I don't mean that in the, oh, he reacted and I punched it. No, I quite literally couldn't hold back. I didn't do it out of evil or dickheadness or whatever. Unfortunately, I've sent that message to your phone for a while now, and wow, you took too long.
Why do you want my phone?
For reasons, now slide your phone.
Hmm.
Behind him,
Well,
obviously, there is this very small woman with multiple wings and blood scatter around her face. She is very comfortably hugging this man with both her arms, as in a very comforting embrace, as he's staring at you with only his only eye.
Steven pulls out his phone. Can you at least tell me what you want on it? Or do you just want it to have it?
I need to have it for my own safety and a little business that I owe someone. Don't worry, I won't memorize your numbers. I don't care about your contacts. I couldn't care about your contacts.
Alright. Steven will toss him the phone.
He, without taking his eye off of you, with the flashlight pointing at you, he slowly reaches out for the phone, grabs it, and then he flips it, and his eye is looking at you, and he starts pressing on the phone, and you think, oh god, this man is using his peripheral vision to fucking type in this phone.
Hmm.
And it's like, found it. The recording of the Alessander call. Delete. He then grabs your phone, opens it up with only one hand. He's very capable, and then he just takes off the battery. He slides the phone back to you without the battery, and he puts the battery on the couch by his side.
Thanks, I guess.
Steven Tallarico, Vampire in the Flesh.
Yeah. Sure.
I will say once again, I did not want to hurt Nelson Rogers. It was not within my plans. It still isn't. Bad luck. Now, I want to get straight to the point. Do you want some mind games? I'm trying to relax. Blood's still pumping.
Hmm. Hmm. So, wait.
Can you do me a favor? Another
Huh?
one.
What?
Can you take your glasses off?
Why?
I want you to see where you're looking at.
Could you put on the flashlight?
No.
Well, then I wouldn't be able to exactly see them, would I?
It takes about 6 seconds for a vampire to fully burn out in the sun. About 6 seconds and a half for them to burn out in ultraviolet human-made light. You
Mm-hmm.
could try to attack me. It would not work. After all,
Then why are you worried about where I'm looking?
safety, precaution, you name it, take your glasses off.
You could just say that you want to see the color of my eyes.
Take
Don't have to be
your
a
glasses
jackass about it.
off.
Happy?
Remind me of someone I know. Could be just coincidence, though. Oh well.
Alright, I'm gonna put my sunglasses back on
No.
now.
Leave them out. I want you to keep looking at your eyes. I want you to know where you're looking at. That's the point. Steven?
Yeah.
If you had the choice to save a small child from death, would you do it?
Yeah.
Well, then we're aligned here in line of process. Thinking. There is this vampire hidden away. His name is John Bellion. John without an H. Jon. About 19 years old. Young. Very scared. He also happens to be immune to sunlight. The thing is, he can't go back to the surface because if he was at the surface, I would know where he is. He's somewhere underground in this island, and no matter what, I don't think I have access to monsters to help me. I feel like you would be someone who would trust as a monster yourself.
Hmm.
Now, I don't want to kill John Bellion. In fact, after I do what I need, he'll live his life as a vampire that is immune to the sun.
You just want to figure out how he ticks?
I was. You see, he puts both his things, they are in contact with each other, this close to figuring out how he ticks. I knew how he ticked. And then the burst happened, and all the data in my computers went to shit. The knowledge that was about to save that small child came from my hands right after I had acquired it. And the only subject that I had, the only one out of thousands, ran away. I just need you. And I save her, and I turn you into a vampire that can be infused.
I don't know if I really care about that.
Well, I'm sure you might know one or other people who are hurt beyond belief, would want to get healed, and still be able to walk under sunlight. Maybe you know someone who lost the movement of their legs, someone who lost an arm. Vampires are miraculous creatures. You should know that, Morgan. But at the same time, being one and losing the ability to walk under sunlight is a big, big problem. Even. I will help
Yeah.
you with many, many things that you choose to call for my help. You can help me save my daughter. I am desperate. I need her safe. Not sure if
Alright.
you're old enough to know what the love of a parent is, but it's something very strong.
So I've heard.
He slowly,
You know,
he turns
I
the
can kind of
flashlight
understand.
to the ground, so it's no longer facing you. And he kind of grabs it with both his hands and like has his fingers like his thumbs connected in a position like.
Can kind of understand why you went to this length to meet with me. However, I'll tell you, it really wasn't necessary.
I didn't have a chance to know that. In fact, once again, I will apologize. I did not mean to cause him harm. It's just not within my control.
Nelson, you good?
I mean, as good as I can be this way. Don't
Think
worry.
anything's broken or just some bruises?
I think my shoulder.
Hmm.
You see Nicole like, don't worry, I'll send some money to his account. You can go to the hospital just fine. He got treated, got a thing to put his bones in place. Hey, maybe we even spend a few days home instead of having to work. He'll be fine. Again, nothing permanent, as far as I'm aware at least.
Fair enough, I guess.
Could you step away from the door?
Oh yeah, sure.
More?
No, okay.
He gets up from the couch and then he points the flashlight at you and presses the button, and it's a regular flashlight. And then turns it off again.
Before you go,
Oh yeah, I need to say as well. What you first?
that kid, John. Did you give him a reason to run?
The burst made everyone feel crazy. It made my equipment faulty, go ham, and obviously, you see his hand starts shaking on the thing that you spin to open the door, the
Door handle.
door handle. Thank you. You see him start shaking like. It affected all of us in one way or the other. You may not have noticed it or not, maybe because you were at a scenic home, but something new has definitely begun to change because of it. John was relatively close to the burst. He probably was affected as well.
I see. Okay. What have you got to say?
You can already guess that I would rather that this conversation remained between us and us alone.
Yeah. Figured as much.
This includes John, by the way. He slowly turns at you. This is a word that he doesn't need to get.
Alright, I guess.
Right away, at least. Not yet. And you never know when someone you think you can trust works for someone else.
I won't let you know. I won't tell him outright. But if he asks, and he has a decent enough reason to want to know, then I'm probably gonna tell him.
Well, if that does happen, at least tell him to keep it a secret as well, now, would you?
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Maybe I should tell her. You see this angel-like figure looks at you and like takes one hand away from him and like waves its little fingers like in a very slow bye.
I'll wave back to it.
As he opens the door. You are a good kid, Steven. I appreciate your usefulness, I guess.
Willingness to cooperate.
Let's be honest. I'm not a good enough person to use that sentence. Usefulness it is. Don't take me for a good person. I stopped being that kind of person was the moment I killed a man for the first time. He opens the door and heads out. Could you grab the med kit in the bathroom? Says Nelson. Oh, he muted. Well, there's not much else going on here. That is a scene. As
Yeah.
there is one more scene I'm gonna do tonight. Beyond that phone call, not that phone call, those messages. They talk to you about ambition. They talk to you about taking back what you truly deserve. And they especially talked about the Brandos. Do you think there will be enough for you to go here?
If I might ask, where's the location?
It's in this specific trolley as it's moving.
Okay, but it's still.
It is late at
Okay.
night.
Then yes, I think you would.
As someone steps in. At the stop that they mentioned they would join you. See, this person pulls out a cigarette, lights it up. Honestly, I'm kind of half surprised you even accepted the idea of talking to me. Why do you guys half hated me?
I figured if nothing else, it was worth it's worth checking out. It's a public place, so not too much of a fight can take place.
Not that I could beat you. I mean, you beat Hamon. With help, but still.
I mean, we both know that you could probably beat me just due to the nature of me.
That's fair.
And I might be able to injure your arm. After all, your non-stand users can accomplish that.
Yeah. Now, Dion. I'm going to be honest. I'm a pretty greedy person. I'm not wanting to be limited to just this part of me. I want more out of my life. I want to go up in life. And this mafia is the way that I have it. Why don't you have with you right here is form an informal deal. And he looks at you because I feel like that both of us want something more that we deserve.
What's your terms?
First and foremost, you're going to beat Robert tomorrow. We need him out of the picture. Once he's defeated, because Black Hole Sun doesn't have a head, an image, your troops will be confused with time. Who are they working with? Do they even trust this person? Who is them? You know, they've had leaders for so long, it's gonna be so awkward to just waddle around without someone to look at. I heard that John well, not that I heard of, but I can guess that John doesn't want that attention. But Steven Guy doesn't seem the type. And whoever were those people inside, if they wanted that attention, they would have taken over already. I'll be your front. The fake face that people think is leading them. use my charisma, use my contacts, use my friends. People believing in us. Well, I guess just my face, but believing in Black Hole Sun that we can be the winning side.
I have
If
one simple question
almost
for
there.
you. Good.
Your side is with me being on the head, and of course I'll need some control to be able to move things around. I guarantee you, whatever you need, I can find it for you. I can give it to you. I can help find people who can find people who can fight people who can find it for you. I'll be your source, your connection to passion in its most mundane way. Friendships, colleagues, phone calls. What were you gonna say?
Just a simple statement.
You're muffled.
Okay.
Okay, there we
Can
go.
you hear me now?
Yes.
A simple statement. Will you be able to stand the hurt you'll deal to Robert? Because you know we're not going to kill him.
Absolutely not. When I say out of the picture, I mean defeated. Not seen as the leader anymore.
Oh, but I'm referring to the betrayal you'll deal to him.
Oh, that's the best part. He doesn't have to know. We can easily come up with a lie that since the Black Hole Sun has no leader, it at least needs a fake one. And Robert, well, he has been beaten, so how could he be the leader? That doesn't make any sense. It's gonna sound like a food. It failed. F-E-U-D. Diamond speaking. Problems with pronunciation. Feud. Everyone's gonna think it's a feud, it's a fake. Well, the battle was a lie. But what if the son of Robert decided to take his way into the top with Black Hole Sun? That's something that people can find interesting and fun to get behind. Robert will see my logic and will think, oh, okay, that's a good way, and he will still think he's in control. But let's be honest, you are in control. Or better, we are in control because, you know.
I'll give you this one statement then. If your offer is very tempting. But I wish you good luck in convincing John.
I'm working around that. At the
Because
moment,
that's my condition.
now, although obviously I have to start working with you guys, I do like to believe we can, between you and me, we can have a more, well, I wash your back, you wash mine situation between the two of us. You know? If you help me out in the little ways, again, I'll still convince John. I can. But in the little ways, if you can help nudge him in the right direction sometimes, help us get on top. If you're gonna help nudge Steven and the other guys into the right direction for us to get on top. You know, that helps my case a lot. Helps our case a lot.
Leon's just gonna take a breath as he considers for a moment.
It's not betrayal. It is not betrayal. You're not betraying them. We both are trying to find a way to get what we need. And sometimes you lie to people you love for their sake, but it's okay to sometimes lie for your sake as well.
The warning I'll give. You might think you have influence and favor with John, and that might be true, but at the same time.
Oh, I don't have influence over him at all. He is my one regret. Instead of thinking smarter, not harder, I could have done something else to get my first friends and contacts and allies. If he was my friend nowadays, things would have been much easier.
Just no warning. A statement for this alliance. John's expecting betrayal. That's the read I can get off of him after what Robert's done and proposed. He's ready for anyone, so if you try to convince him, act all friendly, whatever method you go, he'll doubt you.
He will.
And as I said earlier, you will have my vote if it comes down to deciding who would act as the face for our little alliance. But it's just that.
That is
A vote.
relieving to hear. Dion.
And I'll give you one warning. If I find out whatever you're after, whatever you seek, will hurt the ones I care about, there won't be a force on this planet that will stop me from at least reaching you.
I have a question, Dion.
Yeah.
Is your family the heads of the passion? Are they ingrained in the passion very deeply that modifying it, changing it, would hurt them?
I think you can already guess that answer.
Then you have nothing to worry about. Dion,
I didn't just mean my family.
look.
Yeah.
When someone wants to make a deal with someone else, and they're throwing away values and things to put in, you don't make a deal to just win and leave the other person losing. Because if you do that, you potentially lose someone you can make many deals with, many buys in, buys out. But if you both believe that you're winning, like I plan to do with this, you have a partner for a long time. And Dion Brando, you are someone with the dark determination that I can get behind.
So, you're looking to fully change the passion. Take it you're not a fan of how it was ran originally.
How can I put this? Their thing, less about change, if I'm being honest, and more about the fact that they owe me. They owe me a fucking lot. I'm gonna take what's mine and then try to roll over. Assuming you're going through the path that I feel that you're going through. We'll both work with each other for a long time. And I hope that it can be on friendly time.
And I think you have a deal.
Expect me to help Robert in the fight. I still need him to believe that I didn't backstab him at any moment or give any information away. I'll definitely be influencing some way in that fight.
Then
And here's the kicker. Unless if you can prove that, then it won't be worth nothing. I'll be helping, but you gotta find how. He hasn't told me the plan yet, you know, all the stuff. Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
I doubt you'll give this to me. Not any tips on what Robert's stand is? I'm not sure the proper ability. Even just any shenanigans. After all, we need to make sure Robert
I
will
would
lose
give
that fight.
away a tip or two, but I feel like if you step in the fight already prepared for something, you get suspicious of me immediately.
That makes sense.
He tends to use his stand in little ways in front of people. If you've seen him do something before, use that as your base. That's the best that I can give it to you, man. I'm being legit here.
Oh, that's honestly what I expected, but I honestly figure it's worth a shot.
Indeed. You see the trawler starts to stop. About John, by the way. I mean, maybe I didn't get fully through him. He steps here. But I've already done a few little things for him to, well, get to know me better, I suppose is a good term. Wait 1 or 2 stops for you to leave this place. Is, you know, the trolley. It's a good idea to distance. Thank you for working with me, Dion. I won't take your delete the conversation we had on your phone, just like I already have. It's a suggestion.
And that's for the best.
How are you feeling, Dion?
Dion has a lot of emotions going on right now, but he's mostly just trying to keep things, at least for what he shows, rather neutral, but for everything in him, only believes heaven has a goal in mind. Something that he'll agree to. He also doesn't. He hasn't put 100% faith in this. Because, as much as Kevin's shown to work with us, granting that much power to someone like him is always dangerous. Theon just thinks. Before just focusing his resolve on just trying to survive the next day.
And Blink, do you have any final thoughts you want to put out talk with Nelson, or are you okay with ending it here?
I'm okay with ending it here.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was today's session of Twisted Throne. Relatively short but sweet. Many things thrown on the table. Who knows what will happen next? Say bye bye to YouTube.
But yeah.
Adios.